noma ngithanda ukubingelela ngibonge ithuba siphelona. I do understand ukuthi isithuba semsebenzini, and during this time of festive season you are very busy person. Isikhathi sakhe si-free, isikhathi sospenda nomndeni wakho ukuthi siphele ithuba nokuthi sikwazi ukwenza le interview namhlanje. Igama lami nguLungi, sebenza Young Women for Life movement. Young Women for Life movement was established by the Southern African Catholic Bishops Conference, in short, that's what SACPC, in partnership with the UN Women and yes. So we are working under our different campaigns under the Young Women for Life movement and UN Women. One of them is a campaign which is He for She. He for She is a gender equality that aims as a main movement. It does not happen only in the local level, it's also globally. It's a global movement. Actually, its aim is to try to find ways that men can help women into reaching their full potential. Under this movement, we are working directly in taverns across the country. With the challenges that we are facing in Paratin, where social ills. When you talk about social ills, gender-based violence or HIV and AIDS, alcohol and drug abuse, and underage drinking. And that brings us to our today's interview. We are talking about the underage drinking. One of the studies by Key Health says that if a person by the age of 13 drinks, having 5 drinks in a row every day until you reach the age of 24. Yes, during the festive season, yes. We find that by the age of 24, they may have issues of health like overweight, high blood pressure, and it also compromise their organs like liver, heart, and even brain. So not only is something a problem, but it can be effective to their health as well. So namhlanje ngihleli nomama unana Makhanya esimazi kakhulu ngezwi lakhe elimnandi kwi-Radio Maritzburg, but not only is involved kwi-Radio Maritzburg, is also involved with abalaphi bendabuko, Ingelosi, Engenamaphiko. That's how she represents herself and how she also presents herself is the community development and also in civil society for her. So today is one of our stakeholders that we want to talk about the issue of underage drinking. What makes our children engage themselves in alcohol harms and alcohol abuse at such a tender age? So, Mamunana, ngithanda ukuthi ubingelele and then let's just introduce.
Usually I say mina nami Ingelosi Engenamaphiko unanga Makhanya inkanyezi yakhe ekhanya nje indawo la finyelela khona umuntu uNdlovu uDJ Gogo uGeo Squared Makhosi Thokoza insizwa lamakhaya. Mhlambe I'll start by explaining what is Ingelosi Engenamaphiko and yes, how it came about. On my ID unana Angel Makhanya. So at home, they told me, my sister couldn't say my name that they had given me, and she couldn't say baby in Sisu. So she used to say, Ma, is this your name? Oh, so that's how I became. When they explained that, then I had these questions, which why angel? The inner voice said to me, you are an angel sent from up above without wings to make a difference and touch hearts. Wow. So in Zulu, it's Ingelosi Engenamaphiko. So it was like God was saying to me, my angel, I'm going to take you from heaven and send you to earth, but I'll take away the wings. Because when people see your wings, they will concentrate on the wings, not on the message. And you will see yourself as superior. And I want you to humble yourself. When you've done the job well, that is when, at the end, I will reward you with the wings. So that is where Ingelosi Engenamaphiko comes from. I'm born and brought up KwaMashu in a family of 4, Mom, Baba, and partly grew up in Botswana, in Transkei, and Newcastle, and Ashton.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm also one of the founding members of the program and production manager. But as a colleague, because I'm also a traditional healer, maybe I'll get to that. Yeah, God said to me, this is where we are going to do the healing emotionally. And that's the joy that I get. And that is why you still find me here, because I was told that I'm going to be healing people through radio, through the talks that I do and everything. Yeah, so I'm one of the founding members of it as well, I've mentioned. And Ingelosi, Engenamaphiko, is now a registered GTY Ltd.
Wow.
You'll see my branding. I'm sure it's you.
Congratulations.
And yeah, I registered last month because my dream is to empower people emotionally, empower people with, so I manufacture perfume. I want to do a skin range, and I do traditional attires, beads, and everything, but in my own branding. So I've started also creating. I've also created Asia as a perfume. So I want you to come in, have your angel perfume, has your angel body lotion, have your angel roll-on, bath salts, soap, oils, and everything. But it's a dream that is coming about, and then with the traditional outfits that I've created my own patterns, even with the beads, using 2 to 3 colors. Wow. So the branding is Ingelosi. I'll show you the pics as well. And then with Ustandi community development, it's a dream that came about 97. I was like 5 years into HIV and AIDS because I was teaching at Indaleni School for the Deaf and Dumb. I had a failed marriage proposal, and I said, God has given me children, He's given me shelter, I can maintain. What is it that I've done in it?
What more can you ask for?
Yes. Then I said, it's giving back to God. Then that is when I developed a passion for community development. Then I applied at 3 places. I got a post at Midlands Community College as a matron there, because the matron retired. So I was responsible of domestic staff and the hostel as well. So when I was there, they didn't tell me before I got there, they were clever. And then they told me that the matron there used to instruct sewing. So I said, I know how to sew, because I learned at home. Like I grew up staying indoors with my mother, so when she does everything, I was not the child that used to go out and play. And I believe that is when God was grooming me. So I said, I can try and teach one student. If you are happy, then you will take me to learn how to instruct sewing, because I don't know how to instruct sewing. I will use the skills. Yes. So I did that. They were happy. I was taken to Pond in Kabana. Yes, I did a 3 weeks because they said you cannot just come in and do instructor's course. You have to start with the basic sewing course before you do the instructor's course. So I did that. So at Midlands Community College, I became the matron, the sewing instructor, the community liaison officer. Wow. So as the community liaison officer, when there were meetings for NPOs, I had to go and attend those meetings representing the college, because that was the link between the college and the other NPOs and the community. Yes. So when I was there, then there was the start 92, the start of National AIDS Program through NPPHCN. Yes. I met Mike Bosney. Their office was at Timberlake. He said, I want you to become a board member. When I joined them as a board member, he said, no, now I want you to become a staff member. I said, it wouldn't be fair to Midlands Community College. Let me finish a year first. Yes. And then I joined them as one of the staff members. Unfortunately, there were 7 boys. I was the only woman. So when I joined them, fortunately, they were planning a trip, because I joined, I think, in September, and in October, there was a trip on 8 study tour going to Zambia, Uganda, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. Wow. So it was 8 people from South Africa. I was part of that group. And then I was told that you are not going to sit here in the office. You have to identify a community place where you are going to initiate the HIV/AIDS program. So when I passed from Midlands Community College to decide, I loved Howick. So I said, I want to be based in Howick. So I got a place at Howick West.
Yes.
And then I said, no, I want to go to where my nation is. So I looked for a township, and there's somebody that I knew. I went to Bopomeni.
Yes.
So in Bopomeni, that is where I went to the clinic, because I wanted to find a space at the clinic.
Yeah.
But when we came back from this clinic, it was like to me, I told this person, you know what? These people, it's like who you are, where do you come from? They're wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know, I want to work. Yes. I said, which is the next clinic then? And then she said, it's Howick Clinic. So if you go to Howick Clinic, there is a office for HIV/AIDS. I initiated that office in 1993. So in 1993, unfortunately, that office ran out of funds. So there was no longer a national AIDS program. And then we were working together with Pietermaritzburg AIDS Training Information and Counseling Center. So the manager said, we are starting a program with African Medical Research Unit for commercial sex workers and truck drivers. I feel we are the best coordinator to coordinate that. So I coordinated that program around the Health Region B, which is Natal Midlands. We also had a show on, there was Health Focus at that time.
Yeah.
So I even did the voiceover for them, because they looked at all the programs that I did, and we went to other programs. And there was also another one which was done by Cat Blanche with the truck drivers at Ottoman Road.
Yes.
Yes, I was part of that as well. And then, unfortunately, now, in 1998, they ran out of funds. So I went to work at Italy Juba Hospital as an AIDS educator in the general ward. But it didn't work out, so I came back. While I was there, not knowing what to do, my brother came with the Sunday Times. He said, here's a post for you. When I looked at the post, the National Department of Health, HIV/AIDS Directorate, they were opening a desk for traditional healers. And then I applied. Then I'm one of the first 2 traditional healers in South Africa to be in the National Department of Health, where we were working within South Africa in all the 9 provinces, empowering traditional healers on HIV/AIDS, STI, TB, and looking at possible ways of collaboration. Unfortunately, there also, it was a yearly contract which was renewed, and after that, it fell apart. So 1997, while I was with Pietermaritzburg Attic, I looked at, I've done a lot of campaigns while I was at the clinic. Other people are doing a lot of campaigns. They are talking about change, but people are not changing.
Exactly.
Why? Then I said, no, if I say to you, when you're sitting like this, it's wrong. You don't see anything wrong with it.
Exactly.
So the problem is me, because I'm telling you to change something you don't understand. So I must change, empower the person to develop problem areas, then implement change. Then I asked myself, how possible then can I do that? Then I said, okay, I need to design a program suitable for a lay person up there, up to the president. Why? Because looking at, most of us have inner skeletons. We are walking zombies that nobody knows and nobody sees and nobody reach out. And by that time, there were no mentors for HIV/AIDS. So fortunately, I could talk to paper. Then I said, what about those people who can't? Because even the president has skeletons, even the people at the workplace, even the people there in the rural area. So I said, I need to develop a concept which would work for those people, but then it will differentiate which target group I'm working with. So I designed a program. Then I said, it should be 5 days. Day 1 should be, who am I?
Exactly.
Dealing with yourself before you even come and work with the group. So some people find it very silly, because I even tested it out when I did programs for the National Department of Health. That would be some exercise that I put in. Because who am I? What do I do? Where do I do it? When? How? My attitude? How do I communicate with people? And then if you want to share, you share. Then we come back as a group. For example, let's say we're working with teachers. And I learned that when going to workshops, they would give you case studies. And those case studies, they didn't work for me. I couldn't relate to them. So I felt it means that a person should experience it before can implement. So what you learn better through experience.
Yeah.
So I said, no, it shouldn't be giving people questions. It wouldn't be giving people case studies. So let's say we're having a workshop for teachers. You say teacher versus teacher, teacher versus scholar, teacher versus parents, teacher versus governing body, teacher versus departmental official.
Yeah.
They go and discuss. Instead of saying you are going to report for group A, you say then, okay, guys, role play it.
Yeah.
Come and present it as a drama. And then we say, when you were a student as a teacher, and the teacher did this to you, well, how did you feel? Then the person would say, how do these things happen? How then can we change them for the better? We go through other activities as well. And then we bring out games we play. Because we still have this little child, which needs to be nurtured. And then we go through a certain activities, because with the program, we are saying, as much as Zitande has this skeleton, but what is the problem the people that we are running the workshop for have? And then we incorporate that. So the program is tailor-made to fit in with the needs of the individual or the. And then you say, who am I now after all these activities? What do I personally plan to do? And how do I personally plan to do it? Then you go and implement. And then that's where we're saying this program has 3 phases. So we've done phase 1. 3 or 4 months down the line, you come back to phase 2. This is what I planned, this is where it worked. Maybe you planned the same thing, it didn't work for me, it worked for you. And then you say, how did you make it work? And then you assist me. And then again, I plan how am I going to do it and implement until 3 phases. So if you do the program, you have to undergo the 3 phases. If you need mentorship in between, we mentor you. And then I looked at also, it can be suitable also, because I was looking at people get grants, people get money. Some of us know that I want to be in a co-op because I get money and the co-ops fail. But then if they can start with the phase 1, and then they are assessed and then they know what is it that they have to do, and then they are empowered with skills capacitated, and then they get the grants, they go and do their skills, they come back, and then that is what is done. So Zitande, that is when, first of all, the vision was, then what am I going to call this? I tried doing it as a consultant, but you have to know who. So then I thought the best thing is to register an NGO, which then we can raise funds to make it work. Unfortunately, I did register 2007. It didn't come back. Somebody said, oh, they've stolen your idea. I said, but they've got only the objectives. They don't have the gist. I have the gist of everything. So by that time, the name was Simise, which means whatever you do, you give it your best. And then I got tired. And then again, something said to me, you know what? You have this vision. You want to see this happening. Why don't you try again? And the vision, because for us, it's starting here, expanding until it's globally. The vision is to globally empower emotional intelligence of the family and workplace by developing inner self of men, women, and children for positive attitude and help to life. Which is a dream. We hope we might get funding sometime and be able to. So finally, 2014, I think it was September, the organization was registered, but the name had changed to Zitande. Love yourself. So it's all about self-love. Love yourself. And then I was so excited because I was just trying it and getting people who had no interest, but because the criteria say you must have 5 people to work in. And then it was registered. And then 2015, I said, we need to launch Zitande. Unfortunately, I turned 55. It was the first time I auditioned. And fortunately, I managed to get the city hall. Because then I said, okay, it's Women's Month. How are we going to launch it? We are going to do a woman candlelight prayer. The theme is God restoring his purpose and identity of a woman. Because some of us have forgotten why God created us, have forgotten that we are helpers, actually. We need to help. We are the people who are abusing each other, killing each other. So we had our first annual women candlelight prayer at the city hall. And then we continued, we had 2, 3, 4, 5 at chapel. We were working with another pastor. And then one of the objectives for Zitande is to empower, develop, and implement behavior change, bring back Ubuntu, because we've lost a lot of humanity. And then to empower, support the infected and affected with HIV/AIDS, poverty, xenophobia, substance abuse, all these problems that the social things that we are facing. And then the one that I love, which came about, was when I was working with the commercial sex workers, I learned that most of them are here in Pietermaritzburg. It was even before the Baltimore, because I used to even go there and stay there and be there with them. And they had a problem that, oh, this person is coming to take our clients, because they say that their clients like to see new faces and they invite new faces. And I looked at, if I say to them, get out of this, because they are saying they are there because at home they know that they are working. Yes, so they have to send money fortnight or monthly. But then if I say they must stop this, what am I giving them? So that is when I said, okay, with this time, we need to have something to empower, promote income generating skills. So I've got a lot of skills and I acquired a lot of skills. So I used to teach how to manufacture perfume. I also taught the women at the church, because the pastor is originally from Congo. So they took also the perfumes to Congo and Zambia. But then COVID came, nothing happened. So it has been a problem. But fortunately now I'm saying I'm bringing back Tande. And this side, I'm holding Ingelosi, Engenamaphiko, like I'm telling you, it's just registered. And then we had our 6th annual Women Candlelight Prayer at Opomeni. We were supposed to be having a women empowerment workshop. We came out because we designed a questionnaire to say, what is it exactly that the women need and how can we assist them? And then because of other things and things that are happening, because I'm also in the civil society forum for the district, the district. So how I came about to sit there, I'm sitting there representing the THP sector, which is traditional health practitioners. Yeah, so I also sit in our ward as well at Ungeni and our local municipality. So within that, it's also where we look at the sectors. How can then we empower the sector? So within the THP sector, we've got an organization which is called NUPASA. So for NUPASA, it's National Unitary Association for African Traditional Health Practitioners in South Africa. So I'm the coordinator for the district. I was also nominated to coordinate COVID for the whole sector. So I had coordinating for our organization, coordinating the whole sector for the THPs as it is. And then we also sit there just to see and look at what is it that people need? What can we do? We are the voice of the sector, and how best can we make changes?
Wow.
I don't know if you have any questions. I think I've given you so far. Okay, what you are asking about now, we come back to a question because we're explaining who is Ingelosi, Engenamaphiko,
all of that introduction.
And then within Zitande Community Development, we've designed a program. It's a model that we also learned in Zambia because I liked it. There were programs for say notebooks at schools. So when we find time, I will email it to you. There's a 2023 program up to 2025 that I've designed, because I've designed a program for men, I've designed a program for women, for youth in and out of school. So looking at in school, we have problem with pregnancy, we have problems with bullying, we have problems with substance abuse and all those things. So if we can take maybe like 50, we take maybe 5, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. Why do we take them on? Because if we take grade 12 and 11, these people are still leaving the school. It's true. So we have to educate these ones to be peer educators. And then they have these say notebooks and somehow motivate with the Department of Education that during the LO, we have these ambassadors which come in and assist them. And they talk about all these social things. They talk about themselves, because I feel that there are so many problems that we have and the life that we live at home, because some of them, they learn things from home. They come with bullying because they see the bullying happening at home. They see the drinking happening at home. And they must know that you are loved. Because when you see a boy saying that I love you and you have never been told at all,
emotions.
Yes,
high.
and you end up doing things that you wouldn't be doing if you had all this love and the support. So if they can support each other. And then also programs for youth out of school.
Yes.
Because they also need the programs. And then we end up giving them skills, maybe income generating skills, because now we know that it's not easy to find a job.
Yeah.
But most of us have so many skills. If we can share and impact some of the skills to them, but starting them with the program phase 1, so that we can understand and identify the skills as much as Sitande and Nana Ingelosi have got the skills, but then it's also to assess, to see what skills do they need, who can we outsource to bring those skills to them, and maybe get funding to assist them with startups, which will be given in stages like phase 1, phase 2, and we monitor them. I think that is how we can assist them, because at the end of the day, sometimes they sit with not knowing what to do. And then they end up engaging in those things. But if we can find things that we can empower them with, and then they can also generate income, they can keep themselves busy and do things that they love. Because I believe doing things that you love, even if there are problems.
Yeah, it's true.
So I love radio. I love talking to people, and in spite of everything that happens there. So
yeah.
It's like.
So what I will say is there was a long introduction, but with that introduction comes a lot of things that we see that you have done for the society, for the community as well. And it's still happening now, as we are saying, that you have a program that's starting from this year up to 2025. And actually, that development community action plan is actually looking at, if we have different stakeholders, if we have people of experience like you who have seen a lot, who have done a lot, are there any things that you are doing to challenge or to face these challenges right now? And I've heard a lot that you have said that there are things that are programs that you are doing, which are also part of fighting the underage drinking. Hence, that the government is saying there are a number of factors that are influencing teenagers to start drinking alcohol. You have mentioned about poor parental skills when you said some of the parents are doing wrong things in front of the children.
Yeah, because they learn by looking.
Exactly. It's like an instant camera. They see and they do.
And some of the things they think that, oh, it's the right thing because my mother is doing it. Because my father is doing it. So I'm going to be like that as well.
Yes, it's true. And also you talked about the programs whereby we've got like our peer ambassadors or peer educators, which also are fighting the issue of peer pressure. Because if we have those people who are saying a no to groups at school, it's also challenging the influence of peer pressure, because most of the time we've seen that the peer pressure plays a role in the lives of the youngsters, because we have this thing that says, I have to belong into a crowd. I have to fit in.
And they say for you to, in order to fit in, you must
do what I do. Exactly. And lastly, it will be this. I like the fact that you have worked a lot with the media, including radio, newspaper, and other outlets. But it also comes to the point that the social media platform, the advertisement outlets are also playing a part, because we all know we look up to celebrities, and young children are also looking up to celebrities. So if they do advertise alcohol in a sense that it's fashionable,
and it's interesting,
into a small light, it makes them think it's cool to do so, it's fashionable to do so. What I will say is you have saved me a lot of time, because with all the questions that I have, it's just sum up everything that you have done, and I've let you to do such a long introduction because I wanted our interview to see that everything that you are going to talk about is the things that you have covered. I just remember when you talked about HIV and AIDS, and during the time when we were working to implement the behavioral change, even including into the traditional healers as well. So we can say during my time around 2005, when there was this agenda of saying, let's have HIV counselors. I do remember there were many schools around Engenamaphiko.
Yes.
One of them was Sahepo.
Yes, I remember.
Yes,
I know Sahepo before it even got registered. I used to work with the founder.
The founder.
Yes.
So people like you are still looking to work with communities, because what I can say is that many children do not have sport activities, physical activities. Most of the time,
entertainment.
Yes, and most of the time they are on idle, and that is why they find themselves bringing alcohol, and they don't know what to do. But now, how can we find people like you to come back into the community to say, let's support these young kids, let's bring out our experience so that they can be able to do something and avoid themselves in finding themselves in wrong places.
Yeah, because when you are busy, there's you don't find time.
Yes.
Because for me, when I'm busy, sometimes I don't even find time to have lunch. But again, lastly, what I would say, the problem that we are facing right now is funding.
It's funding.
Because it's difficult to source funding. Even the funders, they say they need people that have got a track record. As much as I'm counting Women Candle Prayer one, I had to take it out of my pocket at times or outsource from people. So we don't have that track record. So we don't even qualify. But we need that. And the biggest dream for Uztande or for Ingelosi is to have IECC. You know ICC, but IECC, which is Ingelosi Engenamaphiko Conference Center for Protectional Center, whereby we will have an accommodation conference center, because I believe that taking away the person from the own setting where we run these programs and we have these skills at the bottom at the conventional center, we have these shops where they can put their skills and sell them and also attract tourists. Because my dream as Ingelosi and for Uztande is to have also that conventional center, also have a traditional village, even if it's in the same place or different places, whereby the people that come in, they will experience our Zulu traditional settings where we have these roundabouts and we have the river. They go to the river, they fetch water, they do their Dutch huts, they up in they sit around the fire, they know everything. And then we cook amadumbe, we sit a traditional everything. And then there will be where there's this roundabout, which is a conference, because I've also done talks on traditional healing, how I became a traditional healer, because my dreams were to become a top model, a reporter stand and an actress. And I love you talking about Roman Catholic because I'm a born Roman Catholic. Wow. And my grandmother used to tell you that she's married to Jesus. If you want to go to the neighbors because they have some rituals, here's money. If it's because you want me to go to the butcher and buy me. So nothing was even said. But my dreams now, looking back, I had this gift since I was a child, but because at home nothing was practiced, and I went to Botswana, I went to a multiracial school, I stayed with white people. So it's something that I didn't do. So for me to accept. And then within that, like we say, we have this modern type accommodation of conference center and everything. There's the traditional village. One thing that I also have a dream of is to have some village, which is safekeeping for the affected. Because you might be going through gender-based violence and they are still working on that. And now you have to stay with the perpetrator and how do you get the healing? So to say maybe we put them for rehab and maybe we give them skills while they are being rehabbed there for 3 to 6 months, depending on their individuals.
I like this talk. We can go on and on and on and on. But because of the time, I would like us to wrap up here. But thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to talk about these things.
It's always nice to hear your voice. Like I said, it has healed many in a very profound way. And sitting here today is a privilege to hear you talking about all those things. And I think I'm grabbing 1 or 2 things from you. And I would like one day to sit again to talk about these things, not in a limited time.
Not even talk them now, do them.
Do them, exactly.
Because now I'm a senior citizen and I see my years alike. And I'm so dying to impart all these skills
into someone else.
And then be able to say, where is Ingelosi Engenamaphiko, conventional traditional center, traditional village, safekeeping? And then I would love to see videos of ours here. And
Yes, you lived. Thank you so much. That comes to the end of our interview. I can see my colleagues are on their toes now. Thank you so much, Mamunana. I think it's a topic of another day to talk about the because one of the factors, yes, it's that they are forgotten cultural values.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We want to bring that back as well and teach others.
Okay.